This remarkable tankard has journeyed through generations, lovingly passed down within the guest's family. It first entered the family as a cherished gift, and over time has become much more than a vessel. It is a treasured heirloom, rich with history and sentiment.
It was given to my fifth great-grandfather in 1745, Captain Thomas Perkins, for something that he did at the Battle of Louisburg in Cape Breton.
What sets this piece apart is its rare and whimsical feature. It is known as a whistling tankard, a delightful and uncommon example of historical silverwork. A whistling tankard is a unique type of mug, typically crafted from ceramic or metal, that emits a whistling sound when liquid is poured into it or when it is raised to the lips. The sound is usually created by a clever internal mechanism or a design element such as a narrow spout or a whistle subtly integrated into the handle. These enchanting objects were once popular in taverns and public houses, where they added a touch of humor and amusement to social gatherings, bringing an element of surprise to the act of drinking.
They'd sit in the pub and when it was empty, they'd whistle and the guy would come and fill it up.
Even more fascinating is its maker. This piece was crafted by William Holmes, a distinguished American silversmith active in Boston during the 18th century.
William Holmes was the nephew of Benjamin Franklin, and he was born...
Seriously?
He was born in Benjamin Franklin's father's house, who was his grandfather, when Benjamin Franklin was only 10 years old.
Known for his meticulous craftsmanship and refined detailing, Holmes' work is celebrated to this day. Some of his finest creations are preserved in the esteemed collections of the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston and the Bennington Museum. Given its rarity, exceptional craftsmanship, and historical significance, this whistling tankard is expected to command an impressive value of.
For an insurance valuation, I would put it somewhere between $15,000 and $25,000.
Seriously? Bless his little heart.
Displayed at this time is a woodcut artwork that the guest acquired from an individual approximately 30 years ago.
He said he was selling all his worldly goods and wanted to build a school for the deaf in Mexico.
What makes this piece particularly fascinating is the signature it bears, the initials A.D., which represent the renowned German artist Albrecht Durer. Albrecht Durer was a painter, engraver, mathematician, and theorist from Nuremberg, Germany. He traveled extensively throughout Europe, visiting Italy, the Netherlands, and other regions, and these journeys had a profound influence on his artistic development.
Durer was born in 1471 in Nuremberg, worked there his whole life. He died in 1528. He was a child prodigy.
Durer's style is distinguished by his remarkable attention to detail, his use of symbolism, and his ability to communicate complex ideas through visual art. In the year 1494, Durer began his celebrated Apocalypse series, a collection of 15 woodcuts depicting vivid and dramatic scenes from the Book of Revelation. Published in the year 1498, this groundbreaking series is a powerful example of Durer's mastery of the woodcut technique and his deep engagement with spiritual and philosophical themes.
It is known as the first artist book.
Wow.
It's a book that's both designed by and published by an artist.
It is believed that Durer may have received theological guidance for the series, possibly from Johannes Pirkheimer, the father of his close friend Willibald Pirkheimer, a prominent humanist of the time. The woodcut currently on display is one of the 15 original works from the Apocalypse series, making it a highly desirable and historically significant piece of artwork.
And the title of this work is St. John appearing before God the Father.
Its provenance, craftsmanship, and connection to one of the most influential artists of the Renaissance contribute to its exceptional value. A replacement value for this Apocalypse series woodcut would be estimated at a substantial figure of
At $30,000.
Whoa! Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad I put a nice frame on it. Really? That's amazing.
This remarkable chronograph was discovered by the guest quite by chance while sorting through his grandfather's estate. What makes this timepiece especially fascinating is its co-branded origin, produced by Longines and distributed through the esteemed Cuervo y Sobrinos chronograph line. Longines is a Swiss luxury watchmaker renowned for its high-quality craftsmanship, innovation, and elegant designs. Founded in the year 1832 by Auguste Agassiz, Longines has stood as a pillar of Swiss horology for over 190 years. Its legacy is marked by precision, refinement, and timeless appeal. Cuervo y Sobrinos, though also a Swiss luxury watch brand, is deeply rooted in Cuban history. The brand is celebrated for fusing vintage Latin flair with modern watchmaking excellence. Known for their intricate detailing and distinctive style, Cuervo y Sobrinos chronographs reflect the charm and sophistication of old Havana.
They were probably the best jewelry store in Cuba.
Wow.
And it was started by a gentleman named Ramon Fernandez Cuervo.
During the early 20th century, Cuervo y Sobrinos served as the exclusive dealer of Longines timepieces in Cuba.
They had some very famous clients, Cuervo y Sobrinos. Amongst them was Ernest Hemingway, Albert Einstein, and Winston Churchill was one of their customers.
This particular watch, manufactured in the year 1938, is a single-button chronograph, a rare and sought-after variation that adds considerable appeal for serious collectors.
It is a chronograph watch. It's also a single-button chronograph watch, which is quite unusual. A mono-pusher, or mono-poussoir, as they say in French.
The condition of the dial is exceptional, retaining its original character and patina exactly as collectors desire. While the solid bar and spring bar have been removed, this alteration does not affect the timepiece's value in any significant way. With its rare single-button mechanism, outstanding dial condition, and prestigious dual heritage, this chronograph is expected to command a significant price of...
It'll bring between $30,000 to $50,000 at auction.
Wow, that is incredible.
Receiving a letter from a famous person can create a deeply personal sense of connection, even if the exchange is brief. That is precisely the feeling the guest experienced in the year 1999 upon receiving a handwritten letter from George Harrison. George Harrison was a British singer, songwriter, musician, and record producer, best known as the lead guitarist for the Beatles, one of the most influential and successful bands in the history of popular music. Though often referred to as the Quiet Beatle, Harrison's artistry and innovation spoke louder than words. He was renowned for his distinctive guitar style, his thoughtful songwriting, and his pioneering incorporation of Indian musical influences into Western pop. Harrison also had a deep love for the ukulele, an instrument he often played and collected with great enthusiasm. This letter was written shortly after Harrison visited the guest's home to view a private ukulele collection, an experience that clearly left an impression on him.
Now that he's no longer with us, sadly, there's all these wonderful folklore stories that everyone has who knew him about him driving around with a trunk full of ukuleles.
A ukulele collection can encompass a variety of things: a series of finely crafted instruments, a personal archive of ukulele music, or memorabilia related to the instrument's cultural history. For Harrison, a lifelong ukulele enthusiast, such a visit was both meaningful and joyful. This letter, penned and signed by George Harrison himself using the affectionate nickname Keoki, a Hawaiian version of George, carries significant personal and historical value.
He had an estate in Hawaii, and
Yes.
that was kind of his nickname there, which is Hawaiian for farmer. He was quite an accomplished gardener.
His signature alone adds tremendous importance, but the context and content elevate it to something far more meaningful. At auction, this letter is expected to command a high price of...
I would put an estimate at auction of $5,000 to $7,000 on this letter.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Displayed at this time is an amulet that the guest acquired from a used goods store for the modest price of $2. Though it may have been an unassuming discovery at the time, the object before us carries layers of cultural intrigue. This amulet is known as an Easter Island tahonga, making it a fascinating artifact to consider. Easter Island, also called Rapa Nui, is a remote island located in the southeastern Pacific Ocean, renowned for its iconic moai statues. Massive stone figures that continue to captivate archaeologists and historians worldwide. In the culture of the Rapa Nui people, tahonga were treasured items believed to hold spiritual, cultural, or ancestral significance. These objects took many forms: necklaces, earrings, amulets, and decorative pieces, typically crafted from natural materials such as bone, stone, or wood. Each item often carried symbolic meaning, reflecting connections to ancestors, deities, or the natural forces that shaped island life. This particular tahonga is an amulet carved with two hands and fashioned from toromiro wood, a rare and now endangered tree species native to Easter Island.
It disappeared a long time ago. In fact, when Captain Cook was there in 1774, there were no palm trees left. I believe it's toromiro, and when that wasn't available, it would just be flotation wood that would float up on the beach.
The detail in the carving is remarkable, with obsidian and uncommon volcanic glass used for the eyes, adding an element of rarity and contrast to the warm tone of the wood.
The eye circlets around it, they were usually sections of a bird's leg bone. It's not terribly distinct, but I think that's possibly what it is.
Despite its detailed craftsmanship, the true function or meaning behind this specific object remains unclear.
They were wondering what it was meant to be, whether it was meant to be, say, a coconut, the shape originally, or it was an egg.
Its form and symbolism are difficult to fully interpret based on the information currently available. Further complicating the story is the belief that this amulet is not an original artifact, but rather a later reproduction possibly made as a souvenir or cultural replica. Even as a copy, this Easter Island tahonga amulet remains a compelling piece, valued for its aesthetic qualities, cultural reference, and the mystery it holds. At auction, it is likely to fetch a modest but respectable price of...
I think this probably maybe 3,000 to 5,000.
Wow.
As a retail price. You know.
That's fantastic. I'm still blown away by that because when I first came across something like this, I had no idea what it was.
Inheriting or possessing a necklace that once belonged to a beloved relative can stir a deep sense of emotion, memory, and connection. This is precisely the experience of the guest, who received this necklace following the passing of her aunt, a piece that now holds both personal and artistic significance. This striking necklace was created by the renowned American-born craftswoman Margot Van Voorhies.
She survives the earthquake in San Francisco in 1906. Her mother is brutally murdered, and then she goes through a divorce.
Born in the United States, Margot moved to Taxco, Mexico in the year 1937. There, she married fellow designer Antonio Castillo and began creating silver jewelry for his firm, Los Castillo. Following the end of her marriage in the year 1948, Margot founded her own workshop and brand, Margot de Taxco. She quickly rose to prominence, employing a team of talented silversmiths, including Miguel Arias, Hilario Lopez, and others who helped bring her innovative designs to life.
She employs 24 silversmiths. Interesting enough, they're all men. But she has 12 women doing nothing but this type of enamel.
Drawing inspiration from pre-Columbian motifs, Japanese aesthetics, nature, and the elegance of the Art Deco movement, she created jewelry that was both bold and refined. This particular necklace is a classic example of her artistry. It features her signature combination of enamel and silver with an elegant, flowing design. It is believed that this necklace was originally part of a set that included a matching pair of earrings and a bracelet designed to complement one another. An especially captivating detail lies on the reverse side of the necklace. Small rivets that allow the piece to move fluidly, much like a snake. This serpentine movement adds a dynamic and tactile quality to the piece, a hallmark of Margot's technical brilliance and creative imagination. On the auction market, this Margot de Taxco necklace is expected to command a strong price of,
I would say, $1,500 to $2,000.
Oh, really? Very nice.
Receiving a timepiece from one's father can be a deeply meaningful and emotional experience, a symbol of family heritage, tradition, and enduring love. That sentiment is at the heart of this guest's story, as he presents a remarkable wristwatch passed down from his father, who was a celebrated dancer in his time.
My father was Peter Gennaro, who's a celebrated dancer and choreographer. He was the choreographer and dancer many times on the Andy Williams Show, the Perry Como Show, the Ed Sullivan Show, and the Judy Garland Show.
What makes this timepiece even more extraordinary is its origin. The guest's father received it as a personal gift from none other than Perry Como. Perry Como was an iconic American singer, actor, and television personality. beloved for his smooth baritone voice, effortless charm, and relaxed, easygoing style. His music, often backed by lush orchestras and choral arrangements, became a defining sound of mid-20th century American popular culture. The wristwatch gifted by Como was produced by the renowned Vacheron Constantin Company. Founded in the year 1755, Vacheron Constantin is one of the oldest and most prestigious Swiss luxury watch manufacturers in the world. Vacheron Constantin is particularly celebrated for its advanced watchmaking features, including tourbillons, minute repeaters, and perpetual calendars. This particular wristwatch is model number 6515, a rare and unique reference that adds considerable value and exclusivity. The watch embodies the refinement and precision associated with Vacheron Constantin, while its personal provenance connects it to a golden era of entertainment and a legendary performer. At auction, this wristwatch is expected to command a significant price of
somewhere in the $8,000 to $10,000 range on the retail level.
That's wonderful.
It's very exciting. I hope you wear it and use it a lot.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it.